Hey guys, we are back in the studio today, and I know it's been a while since we made some content. We did take a break to revamp our website and product lines, but we are going to get back at it soon. We actually have a few things in the works. We're working on our new JK coilover kit. So we got the coilovers there behind us, and we're going to be tearing into the JK here soon. But before I got into new products and getting back to the studio, I wanted to highlight some of the behind the scenes here at Core 4x4 and show you guys what it takes to run a manufacturing company here in the States. We've been doing it for 10 years, so it's nothing new to us. And I figured you guys would be interested in kind of seeing what that looks like. So we will be doing some more videos on walkthroughs at the shop, our manufacturing process, and talking about what it takes to make a product like our control arms, our track bars, our coilover kits, long arm kits, what it takes to actually make that here in America. So stay tuned for that. We are going to be coming out with videos of more behind the scenes of the manufacturing process. Today is real simple. We got the Ram in the studio. A few weeks ago, I got a little heavy on the gas pedal in the snow and whipped it into a curb, and I bent this rear passenger axle. So today we're going to be swapping out the rear axle. I have no idea where the lug key is. While we're waiting for that, we'll get the new axle unboxed and just kind of get ready. So before I brought the truck in here, I did stick the GoPro on the side so you can see how bad that wheel is. But hopefully all I bent was the axle. I think this was like 200 bucks. And I'm hoping that's the extent of the damage. Stuff like this happens. I didn't even see that curb, but we're gonna get it fixed today, get this back on the road before it wears our tires too bad. For this install, we gotta drain and refill the diff because there is a C-clip on this axle. So I need to get fluid, RTV, and probably some brake cleaner just to make sure I'm not contaminating anything. So I'm gonna give O'Reilly's a call, get him down here with all that stuff, and then move on to getting as far as we can without it. In order to get our axle off, we do have to take our brakes apart. So we're going to take the calipers off, and we'll just hang them up out of the way. Get our rotor off. We're not going to swap brakes today. We're just going to mess with the bent axle. But there is a C-clip, so we do have to drain the differential and take it apart back there in order to get the axle all the way out. But for now, let's get the brakes off and get going. So on our caliper here, we just have 2 bolts, and then we should be able to slide this bracket right off. That's a 21 millimeter. Okay, you do need to unclip your wheel speed sensor here. So we are just going to take the caliper out and hang it out of the way. I'm going to set it right there against the coil, and hopefully I don't drop it. I don't have a caliper hook. And our rotor is free and clear. Okay, so we're going to drain this. We're going to pop off the filler tab here. And there's this drain plug on the side. We can get most of the fluid out, and then we'll take the diff cover off. This is just like a rubber cap cover just to keep the dirt out. So we're going to be reusing this. We don't want to mess it up. There we go. There we go. So the diff cover is 13 millimeter. It is a dirty cover. I am almost tempted to take it over to the other shop and get it all sandblasted, but found it. Oh, always working even when filming. We love RockJock, and we use so many Johnny joints. There's Johnny joints in every part. The end links, the control arms, the panhard on this truck all have Johnny joints. So we have a very close relationship with RockJock. Okay, so this diff cover is about to come off. We're gonna leave this top bolt in as we pry this out because there's gonna be a little bit of fluid left in the differential. And we don't wanna drop the cover into the thing. We're just gonna get our flathead under here. Okay, so this is one of the indents that doesn't have it, but there is on this housing, there's going to be a small bolt that has a pin that holds our axle in our C-clip. Tell me when it's in neutral and I'll line it up. Okay, can you put it in park? Well, that was more of a mess than I wanted. I had to get Trevor to come help me. You need to put the truck in neutral in order to line this bolt up with this slot here. This is an 8mm bolt. We're gonna pop that out and then we'll take this pin out. And we might need to just get a wrench. Now that we got that little bolt out, we got the magnet back. Jiggle your axle now that we're back in park until the pressure is off that pin. Let's see if we can get it out. There we go. Since our magnet had a bunch of metal shavings from that other shop, we're gonna clean that up. Now we have the C-clip on the axle, so we're just gonna push the axle in slightly and reach in. We should be able to get the C-clip off. Now we're good to pull the axle. There is gonna be fluid in our shaft behind the axle. It can make a mess, so we're gonna move our oil catch over right here. We have our puppy pad. Oh, we got one. So we're gonna put our cardboard box under the diff, just so we're not dripping unnecessarily. Now we don't want to rotate our axle. We're gonna keep our alignment, but we are gonna pull straight off like that. Oh, it's drier than I was thinking. So we did rent an axle bearing puller, so I'll show you what that looks like. But for the seal, really a good flathead, maybe some pliers, or a good pry bar to get this out. So let's see how tough this one's gonna be. Yeah, this flathead is too flimsy. A pry bar, or they actually make a tool to kind of pry these out, but really from my experience, a good pry bar is the way to go. We don't want to be up on the housing because we don't want to gouge that or groove it. So we're just off the housing a little bit. Right behind. Okay. There we go. This is the tool that I rented. I got a jaw puller. We'll set that aside. And the hammer attachment. So you can rent these, I don't know, whatever you have near you. We have O'Reilly's by us that gets us all our stuff. Thread this out enough to get those jaws to open up. We got the spread open. Anyways, I've never used the jaw attachment like this. I've used the other one where you slide the piece inside. But this worked really well. Got the bearing out. We're gonna clean it up and we're gonna get the new bearing in. Luckily we didn't gouge our surface here. Now they do have tools for reinstalling bearings. We have DOM tubing. So this is perfect because it's just undersized enough to fit right inside, and it'll cover the edge of the bearing here, and we'll be able to tap it in. So we're just gonna wanna make sure we get straight, and our seat is good, and we'll get it all the way seated back there. And we'll have our new bearing in. And when you get that different sound when you're hitting, you know you're all the way back. We're just gonna make sure it's good. Looks good. We didn't damage the bearing. You can feel behind. We are seated all the way against it, so we are good to go. We'll get our RTV out. Oh, I'm dumb. I didn't even cut this off all the way. Okay, the most important thing about this is really just getting it in straight. Now that we got the bearing and the bearing seal in, we're just going to take a small bit of gear oil and just get that bearing wet. We don't want to have a dry bearing when we're putting the new axle in. And then after that, it's really just reversing the steps that we just took to get to this point. So here we go. We're going to go behind the seal, just get it wet. Here we go. It's good. You have to lift that end up a little bit to get it in. There we go. Okay, again, we're gonna push in on our axle, make sure it's all the way in. Get that C-clip in there. Now we should clean that up a little too. And pull our axle back out. We're just gonna line up our hole for that pin. Okay, let's go get our little bolts. There we go. Now, the torque spec on this one is 19 foot-pounds. I don't have a little torque wrench. I need to get one for the studio, and my big one is not gonna fit in here, but just know you're not going very hard on this. 19 foot-pounds is not a lot. We did put thread locker on. We are just gonna snug her down and get as close as we can. Okay, now we're gonna clean up our housing and all this RTV here, and then we'll get our cover back on. Throw this over everything. Try to keep all the crap out. We're gonna get some brake parts cleaner and get all the dirt off before we put the cover back on and the fill plug back in. I lost a battery, so we're back now. I was able to get that diff cover cleaned up, but we're gonna use just some brake parts cleaner, and we're gonna do it outside so we don't make a mess in here to finish cleaning that up. Okay, now we should be able to hit all of these with this bigger torque wrench. Torque spec on this is 32 foot-pounds. Okay, so now we got the rear diff cover all the way installed. This bolt may be stripped. It did not want to torque down. We're gonna watch this and see if we get any leaks. Now that we got fresh RTV on and thread sealant, we're gonna let that set up for a bit before we put our diff fluid in. And while we're waiting for that to set up, we're gonna put our rotor back on, get our caliper back on, and just get everything else assembled that we can while we're waiting. Torque spec on your brake calipers is 132. We got that axle in, the rotor on, we've got our wheel spacer back on, and our caliper back on. It was a bit of a struggle because we put the truck in neutral to line up that bolt on the carrier housing so we could take it out. We did have to press on the brake, which caused our brakes to collapse back here. So we fought them a little bit to get them back on. You do want the truck in neutral so you can line up that bolt. Now we're gonna let the RTV sit for a little bit before we come back and put some fluid in. Right now, yeah, we're kind of at a standstill, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, it's been a little bit, so we're gonna, oop, I just broke my GoPro. We're gonna get some fluid in here and get this out of the studio. Okay guys, that wraps it up for this quick how-to on swapping an axle. You're just shy of 300 bucks to swap out a bent axle. You can do it at home. You just need a jack and some jack stands. The lift is nice to get everything in and together. I'm gonna try to do a few more videos like this, projects here and there, just stuff like this, kind of in this format. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe, let us know, and we'll be back to coming out with new products and content here shortly. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.